gardener. I'm in front of some of my banana plants where they got damaged during the hurricane, fell over. I chopped them up, chopped and dropped them, and I had some big racks of bananas, and I threw them down under them because I didn't think they were fully mature yet, even though I got plenty in the house. And I'm out here today to see if they were mature enough, because I have some that yellowed. I'm gonna cut it open. Let's check it out. And then we're gonna take a walk around and see the new growth. So let's get into it. Okay, so right over here you can see I got some praying hands. They were on the ground, they yellowed, and there's some flies over there. But what I want to do is just go ahead and break some open like this. Smells good. Still nice and white. I think they would have been edible. However, I'm using it for chop and drop right now. So these are getting returned to Mother Earth. Okay, so you all know that I'm Sam, the Frugal Hugel gardener. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little tour of all my plants after the hurricane. Okay, so right over here, I started out the tour with those praying hands, and you can see there's more bananas on the ground, more praying hands on the ground over there, and every other place around all my plants you can see I chopped and dropped, and I piled everything up all the way around the bases of all the plants that had damage. So, on the plants itself, I still have bananas growing. Oh, like over here is a nice rack going up. Goes from here all the way up to there. But you can see I have a lot of banana branches that fell. They cracked. They got wind blown and they're browning. They're too tall for me to trim. I have to get some type of blade that will go up that high. I don't have one. And right over here, I still got some nice bananas growing to harvest. Same thing over here. Look at that. Look at that rack right there. You can see the size of these right there. So anyway, to have a positive attitude, not all was lost. And the ones that were lost are being put to good use as organic compost to go back into the earth to feed my banana plants so they produce nice healthy racks of bananas. So let's continue. Okay, so over here you can see I got another nice rack going all the way up to a big stalk over there. Right on the inside over here I got another nice rack on some nice healthy plants. I have a nice new rack right over here coming in. The pollinators are on it this morning. They're gathering pollen to bring back to make some honey. Now, a while ago I had mentioned that the pollinators are pollinating, and then somebody said, well, banana plants don't have to be pollinated. Well, yeah, but they're still collecting pollen. They're still flying around to different plants. So to me, they're pollinating, they're collecting pollen. So you can look at it any way you want. Okay, a lot of these plants are doing good, even though some of them still got broken leaves. I got to come in here and trim. A lot of them were hard to see when they were green, but now that they're browning, I could get in here and trim them. When I find the time, that is. Time is hard to find when you're gardening. Okay, here's a nice rack going all the way up. Right over here, you have a really nice, big, look at that. Look how high up that goes, way up. If you can see that way back there, coming all the way down. That is a huge rack of praying hands, and the hands are just like so large. I'm glad this one survived. Just look at that. Beautiful. Look how big that stalk is way up there. It's probably 4 inches around. And that's probably a 5 foot rack. That's how big that is. It goes all the way up. There's a hand way back in that shady spot. Way up in there. And it comes all the way down. That is huge. I love it. Got the bamboo holding it up. And as you can see on the bottom of the plants, I got rotten bananas that are going to the ground, and I got all the chop and drop all around the outside. This is where I had 3 plants down. So, you know, I chopped and dropped it. I had to cut some off like that because they broke, but look, all new growth right here coming out. So the ones that I had to cut the tops off because they cracked over, they're coming back. And coming right up over here, I got a big plant leaning. You see that one leaning over there? Well, look how big and round. Look at that base on that. That is massive. But it was gonna fall over. So right up in here, I put some PVC pipe that's holding it up to support that rack. So until that rack is ready, that's how it's gonna be supported. Down on the bottom, you can see I got bananas. They're gonna go back into the ground. Yeah, there's bananas hidden down in there too. I just piled everything up. Bananas over there, all the way around, bananas over here. Here's a nice rack of praying hands right over here. Once again, look how big that is right there. It's 2 hands wide. That's gonna be ripening soon too, I could tell. It's starting to yellow, but that's from the sun. As soon as I see some cracking on it, I'll go ahead and harvest those. Bananas on the vine over there. Okay, so hey, you get the point. Now let's go over here and check these out. Okay, so I had my monopod with me. I just put that away and I grabbed my selfie stick. It's like 5 foot tall. I'm gonna do a close-up on this and then we'll get back to the tour. So just to show you how nice this is, you got the pollinators working it over here. I leave my buds on for them, and you can see right here that goes all the way up on in there. And check out how thick that stalk is. Holy cow, look how wide that is. No wonder why this praying hand is so big. Look at that. Massive. That's all I can say. Okay, let's start over there again. Okay, so right over here I'm in front of some banana plants. I went ahead and had to chop and drop all of them. There's bananas down under there, if you can see that. The plants are looking good. Too bad I had to chop up all those banana racks. Same thing over here, I had to chop this rack up. They're down underneath that. But the plants are healthy, they're all looking good. And over there, on that side of the pond, you see I cleaned it all out right now. And this is what they look like. I had to go ahead and drag those out of the water. So I dragged them up here, and they were real smelly because they were in the water for about a week. But they came out, they all got racks of bananas on them. I'm gonna chop these up and drop them. Look at that, that was under the ground. I'm gonna chop it and throw it under the banana plants over here. And the same thing over here, that's got a rack on it. But I'm gonna chop and drop it and throw it all under there. You can see everything's all chop and drop the best I could. And if I get right down in here, you can see where I had to cut that up. Right over here I got a corm that split. I got a sucker coming out of it. I may plant that. Right over here, the plants that I cut, they got new growth. They're doing really well. Okay, so right over here I got bananas. They're being held up. That sun's pretty bright. So I'm gonna work my way around. Right over in here I got bananas, which is great. Even though down below I had to chop and drop. I still got bananas over here. And the buds are saved, so the pollinators are having fun. Now, working my way down around here, I'm looking at my feet for snakes. Here's a nice praying hand rack. Okay, basically I had to cut all those off. But I have some new suckers replacing some right up in here. I cut them up for chop and drop. I got new suckers coming in. I still got to do a little trimming in here. Now this one I cut, it's not growing back because it had bananas on it. I got to cut that. But these suckers are going to replace it, or I just might dig them out. And okay, here's a banana plant that I cut. There's nothing on that one. Well, actually, this rack is on it right here. It's on the one that I cut right here. So I was going to go ahead and harvest that, but I'm just leaving it. It's still green. Let it turn. Some things I missed. I was in here doing a lot of work. I got to get back out here and do a little bit more. Right over here, I got a nice rack. Got a nice rack over here. Let me see if I can make it around. Okay, right over here I got a rack. Let me get out of here. Okay, wow, I didn't even know I had that one over there that I got to harvest. I thought that was being held up, unless I'm missing something over here. Nope, there it is. I chopped it, and I was going to harvest it, but it's up there. Huh, I don't know. I must have cut that by accident, or it split at the bottom. I'll have to take a better look at that, and then take it from there. So let's continue this way. Okay, so we're on this side of the pond over here. These are my sugar cane that I planted. They all seem to be doing pretty good. They're liking their new home. I propagated all those in the house, and I got it around a stone wall. Here's the back side of my pond. Now I dug this pond just so I could go ahead and plant banana plants. Okay, let's continue the tour. The sun is right in my face going that way in the camera, so I'm gonna have to go on the other side of it. Okay, so right over here is all of my Mexican sunflower that I had to cut back. And then I had to stand them up because they were leaning. And you can see that got all new growth. They got all new growth on them, so they're looking good. Okay, so right over here I got some banana plants. I had to prop them up because you can see they were leaning too much. They were gonna crack. I saved them. So those are gonna be next to have some ice cream bananas. And then right over here I had to chop and drop. You can see all the chop and drop on the bottom of all those. Not all is lost because I still got some ice cream bananas. Chop and drop, got new growth happening. Right over here I got some more ice cream bananas. Got more pups growing on the bottom. And the same thing over here. I had to use bamboo to hold this one up. You can see they're leaning really good over the pond. They would have fell. And I got some new growth happening on these. Okay, so everything's looking good. Now let's go down that way and take a look at some more plants. Okay, so right over here, I had to go ahead and take this loquat tree. I had to put it up. I had to secure it with a pipe because it was leaning a lot. But I saved it. And all of my Mexican sunflowers have new growth on them. Mexican sunflowers over there got new growth. Now here's another loquat tree. It was tipped over. I had to put a pipe in the ground and secure that up as well. And when you secure trees up, if you can see right in there, you have to put a hose around the rope. Otherwise that rope will cut in. I still got cleanup to do, as you can tell. But right up over here, all my Mexican sunflowers that I cut down, you can see they got all new growth. The plants up against the house are growing, and my Comfrey Bakken 14 took a hit because things fell on it. But it looks like they're coming back. So that's a good sign. So let's go down over here. Okay, so these are my manzano plants. I had to cut that one down. It had a rack on it. I lost it. These over here I propped up. You remember this is the one that uprooted. I had to root it back up. They seem to be doing good. They got some suckers on it. The bananas are looking good. Even though I got one split there, this half here is probably going to go bad. I should probably cut that off. I don't know. But we'll find out. And then right over here, got a new blossom coming in right here. Soon to have bananas under that. And then some other banana plants over here that were folded over. I had to go ahead and try to save it. This one looks like I got to prop it up a little bit better. These are dwarf varieties. Same thing over here, dwarf Cavendish. So I want to come in and dig up some of these suckers, pull that up. I got my work cut out for me, as you can see. But I'm real happy that this one here, I uprighted it. I put a lot of dirt on it so it doesn't go back. And then I braced it. They're doing well. So let's go out there. Okay, so this is my heartbreak area. These are my blue javas. They all had buds on them. They all had blossoms and they had fruit on them. I had to chop up a lot of them because they were just so young and they cracked at the base. So let's go ahead and take a look and see how they're doing now. So you can see I had to cut that off at the base. That was the parent plant. It had bananas on it, but the plants itself seem to be doing good. Right over here are some blue java pups. It's got new growth coming out of this one. And going around to this side, right over here, there's a new pup coming out. It's looking really well. Now this new pup here, when I went ahead and dug out the corms, that was a little chunk of a corm that split. I put the little chunk of corm down below and the little corm turned into a plant. So I'm glad I put that down into the ground. But these are all blue java plants. Pretty soon they'll be nice and healthy with root balls, and then I'll go ahead and transplant them. Okay, right over here is where I lost a really big parent plant. You can see I had to chop it up. There was bananas on it. I lost all that. Right over here is a blue java. And if you look right here, this is a flag leaf, and right over here is a male bud. This is going to be a rack of blue javas. It's so nice to see new growth right after the hurricane, right after the damage, because I lost blue java racks and I got some new ones over here. Okay, so coming right over here, I had a chop and drop over here, and this plant was leaning. I had to prop it up with rope temporarily, and it's got a rack on it, so I saved it. So here's a rack of blue javas. Let's see what they look like. You got a bunch of bees collecting pollen. Let's enjoy Mother Nature for a minute. Since these are blue javas, let's take a look and see what they look like, how they're connected. Notice the color of them, and notice how they're connected to the plant. Here's a look on the inside. Another one over here. So after I lost some blue java banana plants down there, I have that male bud on the other plant. I have This bud, female bud. The other one's a female bud. This is a female bud. It's already shooting out blossoms. It's already shooting out bananas. I'm gonna have a nice rack over here. Hopefully we don't have a hard frost and they survive. So I'm glad to have that. Now, moving right over here, we have 2 more blue java plants. They're not giving off any more fruit right now. These were the last ones I planted. But these will be the next right over here, the shoot out buds. Okay, so let's go over here and check out some more fruit trees. So right over here is a fruit tree. It was leaning. I had to go ahead and put a post in the ground and pull it back up, put the roots back in the ground. And you can see how I attach it right here to the tree. I use a hose. That hose keeps the rope from digging in. Okay, let's go down that way. So right over here is another loquat tree. I had to put a post in the ground, I had to pull it back up, and I had to secure it. I got some ice cream bananas doing good over here. So I went in and planted this blue java. Of course, the hurricane came in. I planted this really big corm, and the sucker's doing good on it. And I planted this blue java, and you can see it's growing up here, so this is looking good. So let's continue and take a walk around and see what's going on. Nice sandhill crane. Now there's some geese over there going to my pond. Hopefully I'll be able to get some video of them before they fly away. Let's see if I can sneak up on them. Okay, I'm going to walk this way because I don't want to chase them away. See, they just stood there. They're going to go into the pond. If I would have walked straight to them, they would have took off, but I flanked them, and now I'm in front of them. Okay, so that's the end of my little tour of the aftermath. You see signs of new life, new plants, new fruit. I'm very happy on the way things are turning out. I still have a lot of work to do. So with that said, this is the end of the video. I got to get to work. This is Sam, the Frugal Hugel Gardener. I hope you enjoyed my video. Give me a like, give me a share. Come on over to my Facebook page. Come on over to my Facebook group. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you soon.